Good morning, traders. So how do we trade the DAX this morning? Now, my broker's got incorrect data again. You see this dotted line here? That's the price that they're indicating where the close is, and the net result of that is that your daily bar is a pin bar, which is not true. Okay, so we pretty much closed on that level there. Just delete that line for here. So if we come back to daily, you'll see we've closed on our low pretty much. Okay, and for me the big factor here is that we have closed below. We can actually just tidy it up. So we've closed below this level, this level being 12,100. Okay, we've had a daily close below 12,100, which could be a triangle breakout. Okay, very possible. So there's our triangle. Okay, and this is, let's go to the 4 hour so we don't look at the wrong data. And then we delete that and we delete that. Right. So there is our triangle. Okay, there it is there. This is the base of our triangle here, and we've broken to the downside. Okay, so the thing to watch for at the moment would be a rally into this level of 12,100 and a rejection of that level, then a continuation to the downside. Now, I just want to highlight again, everybody's talking about this big head and shoulders here, but I'm going to say it again. Until we break this tail here is pretty much my neckline, okay? So until we break through this level convincingly on the weekly, this is not a head and shoulders, okay? It's a potential head and shoulders that's forming, and we do have a triangle break at the moment, but the big line in the sand is going to be 11,878, okay? And then even then, we're going to need to break below 11,690 for us to have any hope that this big pattern is validated and plays out. Okay, so when these things happen on the big time frames, it's always difficult to call. Sometimes they play out, sometimes they don't. So you've got to be pretty very careful about how you play them. Okay. Okay, so let's just get back to what we can do. Because if you play the weekly at the moment, you're just going to get burned. Okay, so what we have is we had a fairly strong move to the downside, and the reason for this here, there was a gap further down. Okay, and I just want to come show you on the hour, and it's something to keep in mind if we can find it. Okay, so there is our gap there. Okay, so I'll put it there. So that pretty much was our gap, and then obviously that's the futures gap. There is another gap further down, which basically is somewhere around here, and what's that, 4th of April? So 4th of April here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm assuming we would have had daylight savings back then, so our gap is somewhere in this area here. Okay, now I'll just make that blue. Okay, so this is our futures gap, right? You can see there's the gap, but this is where the market actually closed on that day. So in other words, this is also seen as a gap. Okay, so if I come back to this side, you'll see how this gap was closed pretty convincingly, and we still have potentially this bottom gap here to close. So there is still scope for a move to the downside. Okay, and the trend is down at the moment, so I think that's essentially what we should be looking for, is basically sell any rally that we've got. Okay, and that's kind of what I'll be doing today anyway. So I'll be looking to see what happens here and then sell into any rally that happens. Okay, one thing that you see has potentially changed is we did get a little bit of a breakout and a retest of this trend line, but I'll wait for the European Open to double check that. But at this stage, I'm just going to do this on our very similar setup to the Aussie, is I have a potential pattern. I do have a little bit of divergence here, not much, and the awesome oscillator is not showing me anything. So it's just really the Williams percentage R that's giving me some diversion. So diversions with a reversal pattern is always a very good sign. So if you do get a break of this and a nice retest, it would be a great area to get long. I'm still worried about this gap here. So this level of 11983, I would expect us to get. And then, so let's just do it this way. So we've pretty much closed below this level on the daily at the moment, this 12100 area. And what I'm looking for next is going to be, okay, you can see what I'm doing is I'm lining up tails to the left. Okay, I'm looking for an area where there's a lot of interaction, and you can see we get quite a bit at this area. Oops, that's not what we want. We want this one, and then there. So you can see a lot of interactions on this level as well. Okay, so what does that mean for us today? Well, quite simple. I expect us to either consolidate at this level, okay, or squirt down and find support at one of these other levels. So I would, ultimately 12,000 would be a pretty, it's a round number, so you can expect something to start happening there. You see on the half hour here, we have, we do have a bit of divergence here. So you can see that was a low, okay, higher low, and higher low. So this is kind of a double bottom here where you've got low, low, low. So that is diversions. We've also got diversions on the oscillator at the bottom here as well. Okay, so everything is pointing to the fact that we are tied, and we are tied within a reversal pattern. Okay, so what I'll be looking for is a break of this trend line. Okay, so I'm looking for a break and I come back to a retest and then a move to the upside. If that fails, then I would expect us to move to the downside. Okay, at this stage, there's no, there was a signal for a buy signal, but it wasn't off a level. So for me, that wasn't a valid signal. Okay, and then we moved to the downside, and I haven't seen another buy signal yet. So if I get another buy signal at this level this morning, and this is on the hour, then I would consider looking for the longs to get in. Okay, so for now at the moment, it's just trading with a trend. So I'm still looking to trade this to the downside, and we'll have to wait to see what the open brings. Okay, so if we do get below the low of yesterday, okay, which is 12,027, I think you can expect us to go and tag 12,930, and probably, do we put those other levels in? Yeah. Okay, so we can just pull them off here. So 12,930 is the most logical one, and there's nothing else there. Oh, sorry, 11,930, not 12,930. Okay, so that's kind of what I would expect us to do. Is I expect us to get a little bit more downside today, and then potentially a bounce. So if you look on the lower time frame, we did get a breakout. This is on the 12-minute. We did get a breakout of this trend line and pretty much a retest at the close. But I want to see this happen again in the European Open, or even sort of gap up, come back, close this gap, and then move. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm actually potentially looking at a long setup, but I need to see something on the hour that is going to show me that we have a potential setup. Okay, and I'll show you what I mean. You can see here we had a great signal here over these 3 hours here, and we rallied up, came back, and there's another big signal. You can see we've got a pin bar, we've got engulfing, and then another pin bar, inside bar as well. So that's a buy signal, those 3 bars there. Those 3 bars there is a buy signal. Okay, so that was my second signal, and it's a higher low. That was my opportunity to get long. And you can see how we got long, consolidated, long before selling off. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking for again before I start looking at the longs. For now, trading with the trend, and that's to the downside. And we need to watch the breaks of these levels. But you also need to take cognizance of the fact that you are bottom of a very busy area here. Okay, it's going to take something really strong to break through this. Okay, so it's going to take some big geopolitical event or some data news release to drive this market past these areas of support. Okay, so just be very careful here. So for me, you should start looking for your longs at the moment. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm doing. Hope it helps you. And as usual, keep those stops really tight. And just wait for your price action to show you that we're going to be turning. And the price action we're looking for is inside bars, engulfing bars, pin bars. Okay? Anyway, guys, catch up with you later. Enjoy your day. Cheers for now.